Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marta and I'm a professional belly dancer here in Australia. Whether you're just starting out or you're thinking about getting into belly dancing, this video is really going to be valuable and really specifically for you. So we're going to go over some tips for new belly dancers who are just getting into the dance form and how you can improve, how you can get better faster and have a little bit more fun in class. So get your shimmy belts, get your coin belts, and let's get into it. So my very first tip is going to be a big focus on our posture as belly dancers. So the posture is the most important aspect actually of the belly dance technique because that's where all of our movements stem from. So if we have poor posture, we're going to have poor technique. But if we have great posture, we're going to have fantastic technique. So that's a really big one to be focusing on. So we always want to remember to have our feet hip width apart. We start with our foundation, nice and soft and grounded to the earth. Belly dancing is all about being grounded. So feet hip width apart, knees are bent, neutral pelvis. So we're using our hip flexors to bring the hips forward or bring the hips back, depending on which way you naturally sit within your hips. We want a neutral position. So if we're sliding side to side or sliding forward and back, we can test out where we're naturally sitting, but we want to be in that nice, beautiful, neutral position. Then next we want to bring up nice and tall through the core. So we're engaging our transverse abdominis, our front core, and as well as our back core. So we're lifting up the rib cage, lifting the chest up so that we're elevating our posture. From there, our chest is lifted, shoulders rolled forward, back, and always nice and settled down. And our head is in a neutral position and a nice, beautiful smile. So that's really the basic foundational posture that'll really support your belly dance technique. So make sure you have great posture in your next class. Okay, so this one might be boring, but my next tip is really for those who want to go far with belly dancing, and that is to master the basic movements first. So I'm talking about the correct technique in all the basic isolations. This is your hip hits, hip slides, your chest lifts and drops, chest slides, chest circles, hip circles, internal and external, hip lifts and drops, snake arms, shimmy, of course, shimmy in the hips, shimmy in the shoulders, and they're your basic isolations to get you rolling. So they've got one level, one layer that's nice and easy for beginners, but it is definitely hard to master. It takes time to master these movements, but once you get there, you can really see a dramatic rise in your personal style, your personal execution of belly dance technique. So you'll see the masters, like all the popular girls over in the Middle Eastern countries, the really best dancers will have the simplest technique. So they do one hip hit and their movement is incredible. You don't want to take your eyes off them. So it's definitely something worth thinking about. Okay, so my third tip is really focusing on listening to your individual body. Within belly dancing, we get all sorts of different dancers coming to join us, and that's the beauty of this style, is that anyone can really get involved in belly dancing. There's not a huge barrier to entry. And the thing to focus on is when you're in class, make sure that you warm up with dynamic movements and cool down with a nice stretch. My recommendation is to warm up, dynamic movements, turning the arms, lifting and releasing the leg. And then when you're cooling down, you want to get into those beautiful static stretches to improve flexibility as a dancer. So if anything feels a little bit pinchy, or you're doing a move that your teacher is showcasing you and for whatever reason there's a little bit of pain, that's a moment where you should listen to your body and stop the movement, and then just back off, maybe look at your posture, realign, check that the hips and the torso are in the same alignment, because usually when the hips are out and the torso is out, that's when things start to come from pains. And yeah, you want to have great technique, which goes back to my first and second point of having great posture, which equals good movements. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Listening to your body will improve your dance practice. Okay, so here is tip number 4, and as a teacher, I tell my students this all the time. Practice, practice, practice. Just pop a song on once a day, every day until next class. And there's always some girls who have not practiced. So I know how hard it can be, and as someone who hadn't dedicated time to practice before myself, but once I did, it became a lot more fun. So, you know, we want to practice, but we want to make it fun. So we don't want to make it a chore, right? So coming to belly dance class is fun, but I've got to practice during the week so that I've got the moves. Well, no, just have fun with it. Make sure you know the kind of songs that you like to listen to, whether it's a shabi or traditional Egyptian or a taksim of a violin or something like that, or you really like the Saidi drums. Just put some music on that you love and then start dancing. Okay, so we're on to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is all about investing in the right gear. So I want my dancers, my students, to feel like they can just come to a class in regular active wear or just a long dress if that's all they have, and that is totally fine. But once you start to come to some belly dance classes, you might want to begin to get a little bit of I won't say hoard, but get a little bit of a collection of shimmy belts, hip scarves, the queen belts, things like that, and also some really lovely pants or long skirts that you might enjoy wearing. I always tell my students to go with long skirts rather than a short skirt, just because belly dance classes are so varied, we're not always standing upright, so having a long skirt is definitely more elegant for yourself, for the teacher, and your fellow class participants. So go with those long skirts. I personally love at the moment the Lorna Jane flare pants. They've been really popular with me and my classes, but you can make them as well. My mum and I, we've got a pattern, we make those beautiful flare pants, and yeah, long skirts, tights, just something. You can also wear those bike shorts as well, as long as you're covering, you're being modest. So that's your bottoms, and then you got your tops. You really want to be wearing a sports bra because this is dance, we're moving around, we're doing all sorts of movements, shoulder shimmies. We want to be secure, tucked in, ready, comfortable to be moving. Yeah, making sure that you've got a nice supportive bra. It's great to have some accessories like your favorite necklace or a beautiful little band, or some earrings, maybe even a little bit of makeup. That's always really lovely to see in class. That's a moment where you're surrounded by only other women. Usually in my class anyway, you're only surrounded by other women, and it's a chance to tap further into your own feminine expression and adorning yourself with beautiful clothing, nice jewelry, some nice beautiful colorful earrings, dressing your hair, wearing a nice silk scarf or a scrunchie in your hair, doing your nails, all of those things is fun and a fun way to express yourself at class, so go for it. But I want to also add, you don't need to be spending a lot of money. I grew up in a culture of belly dance with my mum, my sisters, my best friend, and my best friend's mum. We were all, and all the troupe that we were with, they're all sewers. So it's my culture in belly dance to sew. So if you've got a scrap bit of material, cut it up, put a hem on it, put some beads on it, put some coins on it, and you've got a hip scarf. So you don't always have to spend a lot of money. So this is tip number 6. With this tip, it's really, really important to me personally, but I also think it would be great for newbie belly dancers specifically. And the 6th tip is to find a belly dance community or a belly dance class to be a part of. Not just online, but of course online you can be part of a group, like a Facebook group or an email list, or like you're watching now on a YouTube channel. That's all online, that's great, but I really recommend getting face-to-face in class and enjoying the energy of all the other women you're there to learn together, and get energy from your teacher as well. She or he is going to be giving off a lot of great energy that you can bring onto your body and kind of suit up and enjoy the class and then leave feeling fantastic. Yeah, it just creates a nice support network and real people. You know, a lot of girls in my class come to my classes because they're new to an area. They start belly dancing, they see another girl and they make friends and they go for coffee, and that's the beautiful beginning of their friendship. So I definitely recommend finding or being part of a real life community in your local area. Okay, and the 7th tip, the final heavenly 7th tip, is just be patient with belly dancing. If you're new to belly dancing, if you've not done any belly dancing before, it can take up to a year to get the basics down pat and move up to the next level and progress in your dance path, your dance career. I wouldn't try to rush it. It's really supposed to be something that's fun and a form of self-expression where you can go inward and celebrate your own body, but also go outward and connect with your dance sisters. So if there's some moves that don't quite click straight away, please don't be discouraged, because it can take years upon years upon years to really master these moves. I know each dancer usually has one specific movement that's really, really difficult for them. For me, that was running shimmy, and now I'm great at it. I'm very confident to pull off a running shimmy whenever I need to. But for another dancer, it might be the Mayas, which has come really, really easy to me, or undulation and belly rolls. They're so simple to me, but for another dancer, might take years to really master those movements. But consistency is key, so keep practicing and go to different dance teachers, talk about technique, talk about their progress and how they've been able to get the technique that they have. Just remember that belly dancing is a form of self-expression and identity, exploring your identity and learning more about yourself and learning more about others and a new culture. So just remember that you're beautiful, you've got this. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope these tips help you get started with your belly dance journey. So just remember, belly dance is all about having fun and enjoying yourself and learning a new skill and being fit and healthy. So yeah, just remember to set good intentions and enjoy the process. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, and please share with your friends, and let's grow this beautiful belly dance community together.